Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So, just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So, just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So, just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.
Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, this is Funny to Informing.
It's Thursday. It's 7:30. Do you know where your children are? I'm Chris Pizza Peisenberg Coleman.
And I'm John.
John Hannon. And this is Funny to Informing Live, episode 103. And if your kids are listening to this, I'm sorry. Be better parents. What do we got on tap tonight, John?
We got DigiHears in the back half of this, and I'm expecting a few phone calls, and we got definitely some hurricane conversation to get to. There's no doubt about that.
Some what conversation?
Hurricane.
I'm
going to try to say it right.
Get your hurricane.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones that we do live on Thursdays at 7 o'clock.
Normally. Tonight at 7:30. We're a little delayed.
A little late. That's
technical difficulties with the weather and the preparedness of the hurricane.
Yeah,
hurricane that is to come.
As of right now, you can't even go to a gas station and get anything really.
The lines are bad.
Let alone gas.
Are bad. Right. I'm already seeing the obligatory posts from the grocery store of empty racks, and I'm like, well, there's where water once stood.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a good hour, and we had our first event, over the past weekend. So I want to definitely talk about that.
It's a good time.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Quickly before we start, John.
Well, okay.
John can't look. John, you can't see this, but we have a drinking game for this week. Anytime you hear John say the magic word.
What's the magic word?
That's the magic word. Can you see that? All right. Apparently that's clearly viewable. When you see that when that magic word is said by my co-host here, have a drink with us. Have a drink with us.
Okay.
That's fine. I got it.
What is so? How are we going to know what the word is? Are you just going to?
I know what the word is. I made it up.
Oh.
Now they know. So,
really?
Yeah, anybody viewing. And if you're listening, I'll tell you at the end what the word was, and then you can have drinks for every time John said that word.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's fine.
That's the deal.
And, all right, so we're available on twitch.tv/Amplified Network and youtube.com/Amplified Network. And then even if you don't catch us live, you can catch it after the fact or still in our podcast stream. But
iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere on Fridays.
And have you been in the past week or so?
It's been. I mean, we saw each other not even that long ago. Right?
We had the event.
Yeah, we had the event Sunday, and I haven't seen you since then. And it was a nice break. I was really sick of your face. And I was like, I need a good hard break from this guy.
Well,
Thank
even at
God.
the event, I don't feel like me and you got together so much.
No,
you know?
you're right.
We were
You're
kind
right.
of
course, you know, I was
on
kidding,
both
bro.
sides of the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate you too.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and it was a great time. I think we had in and around 30 people
30 give or take people
show up.
We definitely filled up Wally's. A few people came in, just stragglers actually coming into the bar, and I kind of felt sorry for them. I was like, oh God, do you know what you walked into?
Some of
we're
them
loud and we're taking up the whole bar. Hopefully you can find 2, 3, 4 seats for yourself and your group. And I felt bad, but there was only really a few stragglers. I'm glad we filled the place up for them that day.
Yeah, I was gonna, because there were the few that came in, and then the second that they saw everybody, they kind of walked out right away. But you know,
Did we turn some people away at the door?
Yeah,
Fucking
for
mission
sure.
accomplished.
But I feel like it was you know, mutual. Like we helped them, and they really helped us. And
The staff was awesome.
holy crap.
One bartender,
Amazing.
and the manager who hung out most of the day, not even helping, just drinking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Flirting with my buddy Mike. So hope you got that number, Mike. T, shout out to you. You're a sweetheart, and we love you. I speak for John.
Okay.
We love you.
Because love was in the air. You know what I mean? It was like people were definitely getting into their drinks. They had some
There was that.
the specials that they had, because it was like you can get the PB&J, the Pabst
Yeah,
Blue
they had
Ribbon.
the PB&J, which is one of my favorite specials they do.
It's Pabst Blue Ribbon and Jameson for $5. One in can. What was it, like 16 ouncer? One 16-ounce can.
Yeah, 16 ounce, the old PBR can, and
Yeah.
a shot of Jameson for $5. You can't beat it.
It's the perfect blend.
They were
And-
really mixing it up, though. They did something called the M&M. It was an MIA, a tap of MIA, which is really good beer out of Miami Brewing, and a shot of, what was it, American Honey by Jack Daniels?
I didn't have that one.
I had a couple of those. That was my downfall.
Ooh, I kind of wish I did.
That was a good time, and those were $5 too, and you couldn't beat it. They had like some specialty vodka on sale all day. It was cool.
Yeah,
they did
and
some specials,
and they let
were
us
really.
because we brought in like giveaways and stuff. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah,
brought in,
we brought in
a little
food.
and a little bit of food.
Yeah, and they
so,
let us give the food out because they don't serve food yet.
Yeah,
Hot dogs coming soon.
yeah, and then
There's food coming.
and they let us really take over the place for a few hours. You know, it was probably about 3.5 hours.
Probably we definitely outstayed our welcome. I feel like we should have left maybe 30 minutes before we did, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody was really cool and chill and be cool, bro, as we like to say. Mostly. I'll just say, don't come to people's events and poach
Yeah,
your own guests.
And
just work on your own guests on your own time. I'll say that.
It is what it is. It's whatever.
whatever.
I don't even.
You're right.
I'm not even that worried about it.
I choose not to do that.
And then there was I had to help somebody to their car. Or just
Oh, I
because
know
they
that.
were
I remember
stumbling
that.
out of the place, and then I was just helping Bluegill. He gives us the scoop on the group, and
Usually,
so
he's
yeah,
very
And, like,
very participatory.
and that's
in
what
there.
that's what got me. It was because like Bluegill, and then it was like Micronaut, and like everybody was coming. Like it seemed like a lot of couples. Everybody was bringing their wives, and it
Yeah.
was such and they were coming
was a
from
lot of couples.
over an hour away. They would be coming from.
There was a couple of them that came from that
just
far.
to be there for a few
Super
hours.
appreciative of them to do that for sure.
It was incredible, and everybody told me that they had a really good time. So I'm glad it worked out in the way it did. I'm already I kind of already want to do another one.
Yeah, right.
Like
I know, but you can't blow it out. Like
I know.
you gotta, it's better late than never than ramming it down your throat into another meetup. Like,
yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Once we get something figured out, I think because I want to come up with good ideas too. Because if you get into it too fast,
And
then
remember how hard it
it's
was
all-
to find the right venue? Like we got to do that all over again.
Yeah. Because we were on the hunt for a few months, right? We were just hunting, trying to.
We had that was like a last minute thing. I was like, man, let's fucking do Wally's. Like we just started going to Wally's and we really liked it. And we said, let's do
Yeah.
it. And they were receptive.
It's that was our first official event, and because I mean,
Since our only really other event that we represented anything in was the Spring Bake back last April.
Yeah, so
Like
it was our
a year and
first
a half
solo
ago now.
one,
Yeah.
but we did do the Spring Bake because you were one of the pizza makers in the contest, and
I was the only pizza maker in the contest, sir.
yeah.
And
Rocky.
I think if you were there, you remember that.
Yeah, I produced a show called What's the Fuss, and
It's a terrible
Rocky,
show.
the host,
You should listen.
was the other contestant and failed miserably. But 1K away through a great event that day, and I felt like we were kind of a part of that. But that's the first real one, so it was a lot of
It
fun.
was a great
cool.
turnout and a really good time. So
Yeah.
thank you everyone for coming out. I hope you liked the little gift bags. Shout out to Adri Mama for putting those together. She did a great
Yeah.
job. She's in the chat room
Thank you
already.
so
with
much.
Her and Bluegill are both in there. Hey guys.
And Okay. So while we're on the subject of events, also before we move on, my high school reunion, my 10-year is coming up soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just 10
And-
years?
Yeah,
Just 10 years,
now.
young man. That's it? Okay.
This wasn't meant to make you feel bad.
So you graduated in 09?
No, 10.
Okay, so
10
you're
exactly.
so okay. So yeah, I graduated in 99. So my 20 year just happened.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wait on that one. I didn't go.
I'm not
so
excited
Don't worry.
for
If you're
it.
wondering, let me save you the drama. Didn't happen. Didn't go.
Why you didn't go to the 10-year or the 20?
No, I don't even think I was in touch with everybody. At the 10-year point in time, I wasn't even in touch with anybody from high school. I've just kind of found them recently through Facebook.
Well, and I think it's like up to the valedictorian, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that's supposed to like get the reunion back together, you know? So if
Is
they
that
don't,
who? That's yeah.
it's for I think for the most part
Well,
that's
they're
who
the
it's
most responsible because they were fucking valedictorians. So
Right.
they're in like doing their shit in school and
Yeah,
following the letter of the law. So and they're very organized. So set that shit up.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go to mine or not.
I didn't even go to school. Why would I go to the fucking? Why would I go to the reunion? Jesus.
I'm going to skip that too. Fuck it. No, because I really haven't decided because it would be good to go and see everybody and like share, stories of maybe what we've been doing after high school or, see how people change.
Catching up.
Yeah, seeing how people changed is going to be the big one. I want to see the huge difference.
It's always
in some of them.
Yeah, the ugly kids in high school are probably the hot ones now, and vice versa. The hot
Yeah.
ones are probably. It's cool to see like how the quarterback and cheerleader have fallen off and are now like beer-bellied fucking pieces of shit.
Because and then
meth-addicted assholes.
the nerds are going to be in the suits and looking
Yeah,
real
the
good.
nerds with their money.
Yeah,
They can't make it because they live in California now.
it does come full.
Like,
Yeah, they
that's
can't
how
even
you
show
really
up.
judge it. Did you go?
No,
You're
yeah.
kind of a loser.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Exactly. Anyways, that I just wanted to put that
Exactly.
out there.
John
'cause-
reinforces you're a loser.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me too. It's fine. I can admit it when I
Me
am.
too. I'm a loser.
I'm not
movement.
worried about that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, what do we have later on? I know we're going to be calling Coco, which I think we
Way to
talked
blow-
about it.
Way to just blow the story early.
No,
man.
I think we talked about it for a second. On another episode that we were
teased
going
it
to.
last week. Actually,
Yeah, once
we kind
a
of
month.
came up with the idea during the show, and
Right
we're like,
then,
yeah,
right.
let's do that. And then by putting it in the show, we're now forced to do it. So Coco, it's happening.
Yeah, well, once a
Hope
month.
you're available.
Once a month, I do want to get to sports. Every so often. So I think every fourth show, we're gonna have
Love
Coco either come in or we're gonna try to call him. We're
We
gonna
can
give him a
a
call.
whole. We'll give him a whole segment.
Yeah.
In the future, not tonight.
Yeah. No.
He's
Right
got to
now.
work his way up. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's great. Give him a whole segment. I can take a break. I can pee if I need to. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Run to the
Yeah,
store,
yeah.
get some beers, whatever.
Okay. So what do we have? Obviously,
What else we got?
this weekend is going to be when we're supposed to be getting hit with this Hurricane Dorian. Is that the name?
Dorian.
Yes. Hurricane Dorian.
Hurricane
Is,
or hurricane?
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that. That's why I hate when these hurricanes come the most is because I have to say the word and then you just shit on me
I love
for
it. I was like, yes, we have a running joke this week.
I don't like it. I don't.
You don't like my jokes, or you don't like you're worried about the hurricane?
I don't like that I say it wrong.
Okay,
because I kind of identify that I
you're
say
over
it wrong.
focusing on the word now, but I'm getting back to the actual
Right.
storm activity.
This because now it's been intensifying and every time
It missed Puerto Rico. It was supposed to hit Puerto Rico
Thankfully.
and slow it down. Well, thankfully for Puerto Rico, but badfully for us, because now it's just gaining strength
yeah
in open water.
It was
instead of it's been in open water for ever and ever. It's going to remain that way right until it slams into America's penis, Florida.
every few hours, if nobody knows or if everybody knows, we do the show in Orlando. So who knows if we're going to be here next week? I don't know what the electricity
Yeah,
situation
might be our last show.
is
So
going to be.
we're going to
looking
make
like.
it good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, but and every few hours there's just articles of this storm getting worse and worse, and it was supposed to be here and be a Category 2, and then it was a 3, and now I think it's supposed to be a 4 with 110 mile per hour winds.
Yeah, they keep changing the tracks, but I mean, it's going to probably more than likely hit the east coast of Florida somewhere and then come up through the state probably and just drive tons and tons of. I'm not worried about anything but wind and rain knocking out my power and me being without power for an extended period of time. That sounds like a nightmare for me.
That's what people would have to prepare for the most is,
Right. That's
know,
what I'm not prepared for.
yeah,
So,
like if you have some
you
kind
guys
of
are. You just email me, and I'll get saved from the storm when it happens.
yeah,
So,
and my boss was telling me, he was like, if you put water in a Ziploc baggie and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
throw
yeah.
it in the freezer, he's like, at least you'll have some kind of ice so that like when
that's the most overused tip.
you can kind of
in the
like make a
world.
cooler.
It's true, but it's
Which
like saying if you save 100 pennies, you have $1. Yep.
yeah,
you're right.
because
I didn't need to know that.
what I like to do is like fill up the bathtubs and plug them and leave them filled with water.
Ew, I don't drink out of my bathtub.
No,
you
no.
fucking animal.
What do you have
Do
to-
you and the family dip your heads in there like a trough, like
All right.
pigs?
No.
On the
No.
farm?
No.
I knew it. It's a Philly thing. I fucking
Think about
knew
it. Think about it.
No,
like,
I know. I already know what it's
Yeah.
for. It makes total sense.
You're using the toilet and you
But
have to flush or something.
When does
and
the
then-
water not work? Your power goes out, but even without power, your
Oh.
water still works.
No, the water would go out sometimes. I think it did
For that long, where you gotta, I guess.
I think our water went out for Irma,
Did
if
it?
I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't lose power or water or any of that.
And then
'cause
when
I
you
was on
flush-
the downtown grid and it was great. And now I'm not. And if an angel farts, I lose power now. So I know I'm gonna be fucked.
And-
And
and
it's
the
gonna be
tree,
a nightmare for me.
They're like
That big
peop-
giant tree. I
People
live
have to
under,
watch out for that for trees. And
everything in your yard becomes debris.
do not park under one of those, or your car may get crushed. like,
Ironically,
completely.
you want to know what that big ass tree that's gonna come down in my yard? You know what kind of tree that is?
No,
A water oak.
is it really?
Yeah. How
Okay,
ironic
see.
is that? And then the rain comes and you fucking water in your living room because the
And-
trees through your
Yeah,
roof.
water's its weakness, and it completely collapses, despite being called that. And, yeah, like a lot of people have been joking way too much about it though, and I feel like they've been kind of shitting on it, like not taking it seriously. I've been seeing
Well,
on
whatever
my
happened to fire your guns at Irma 2017? That was a good time. Everyone shoot your guns go to the
Yeah.
coast and shoot your guns at the storm. To the point where the state government actually came out and was like, do not do this, guys. That's a bad idea.
yeah, well,
Because
there,
people were taking it seriously.
there
like
was-
the whole Storm 51, the Area 51.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was taken in the same vein as that. It was a
They
total
had to
fucking
address
joke,
that.
and people were taking it seriously, and it got addressed.
It's but and there was like the one joke a few years ago where it was like point your fans towards the Atlantic and try to
Yeah,
blow the hurricane.
that's a good
back.
one, too. Right,
yeah,
right.
like that's a little bit
So
more
this year,
innocent one.
I don't know. There's not one of those.
And well, kind of
This
nuke
year,
'em.
it's like
they tell you to nuke.
I'm too busy. I'm stocking up on chicken fucking sandwiches before they sell out. Then I'll go buy water.
Yeah, exactly.
Priorities are priorities.
Yeah, I think the running joke is the shoot a nuclear missile at it, and that'll somehow stop it.
It'll at least generate a massive amounts of power, so we won't run out of power. We'll be nuclear powered
Right?
just via the environment.
And die slowly over a long
Probably quickly.
period of time.
Probably quickly.
You
If
well,
it's that kind of radiation. Have you seen Chernobyl? If you
no,
haven't,
I have not.
highly recommend it.
I have not. What
It'll
is?
educate you a bit.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we got? I
We got all kind of notes,
I
man.
fucking
Which
bet.
direction are you taking us?
Okay. Where are we headed?
You're driving this bus. I'm just in the back, like with Rosa.
No. Is that how that works?
Yep.
I don't even know what that's referencing. These are
The
your
Selma
notes.
bus fucking stuff, bro. Come on, man. Civil rights? God, John Hannon. you're out of it.
Oh, Rosa Parks. Okay.
Yeah, these are all your notes too. I don't write like little chicken scratch, bro.
no.
that's all your stuff.
The next thing I have is Did You Hears?
Yeah, no. Well,
You
we
wanna
got
do that?
plenty more. Yeah, we can get into Did You
Actually,
Hears
yeah.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Let's get into
We got
Did You
tons
Hears.
of 'em, so-
And I don't know. Do we have to hook the phone up to the line?
Yeah, we can hook up and take some calls. You can kick off your first Digi.
Okay.
and
all
I'll
right.
hook
Yeah.
up and we'll
so
get going.
Did you hear? Over the weekend, a 10-year-old shot himself playing with a gun that he got from I believe his mother, but if not, his father, one of his parents, in Daytona, and he was airlifted to the hospital, and he was okay, and everything was fine, and he survived it. But it kind of every once in a while, I feel like people need to be made aware to like keep your firearms away from or completely out of reach from your kids. Especially, if you have young ones that, if you're making it too available to them or give them access
It's
too
responsibility
easily.
with anything. Absolutely. Like the kid should have never had the gun in the first place.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you meant it like it was a random shooting and, he was out and who knows, some
like
one
a
adult was shooting
ricochet
at
or-
another adult or whatever, and he just got crossfire of some type.
Yeah, I think it
I
was.
didn't realize he was shot by the own gun, the gun he was handling.
Yeah,
which was his
and
parents.
I don't know where he got shot exactly, but and he was playing around with a couple of his friends. Just I guess
And
somebody
he died?
No.
Oh,
he made it.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was.
We shouldn't do any stories if kids die.
They airlifted
let's,
to the.
let's make that.
I
a
know.
thing.
Make everyone
No dead kid stories.
Make them all end well and good.
yeah.
Everything was perfectly.
So even if they die, we say they lived.
no, but this one did
Noted.
end well.
Okay, but this one lived.
Yeah, and
Wink.
don't and just like I would recommend applying that like 3-step rule. Like keep your maybe your clip and your gun like the
It's called
itself.
a magazine, boy. Don't get them.
Yeah.
Don't get them right.
Keep your mag and your gun
There you go.
separate.
Yep.
And then-
Unloaded weapon.
yeah, maybe in a box and then
and-
with a lock.
And something, a safe. They make gun safes.
It's
Even
that
small
easy.
ones. If you don't have a big ass rifle, you can get a small gun safe to keep your small gun in. And I feel like same thing. Drugs, guns, adult things should be kept away from your kids.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a good little, just 3-step rule to apply.
The kid didn't find his mom's vibrator, but he found his dad's gun. Like,
right.
let's put away
bet,
better.
I bet they wish
Put
they
him in
found
the same
that
place
instead.
at the top of the closet, in a
Yeah.
lockbox.
Have the same type of urgency and anxiety over that.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a 3-step process before you can masturbate, ladies.
Yeah.
So candles lit, sultry music, and
and lotion.
in the
Lots
tub,
of lotion.
all the lotion. Friction City is what he's getting.
All right. Okay, I have another one. Have you been hearing about the Hong Kong protests that's been going on?
Oh, are we being serious now?
It's been lasting.
Yes, I actually have heard about this. In
Okay.
the airports,
Did you?
right?
Yeah.
Or is it in the streets and everywhere now?
Oh my God, it's
Does
all
it
over.
spread?
And yeah, well,
the
not.
bird flu?
I don't know outside of Hong Kong.
Starts
or
in
not.
Hong Kong, and then we're protesting next week
Yeah,
because we
well,
caught that shit. It spread.
I don't feel that passionate
No?
about
Okay,
it.
all right.
I'm not getting too involved.
You haven't made a picket sign yet?
No,
Okay.
no. Maybe
Okay.
later. I'll procrastinate until I die. No, because they've been getting like around 1 million people together to do this
What
protest.
exactly are they protesting?
It's been a long-standing protest. It's like going on. It's like 12th or 13th week or
Okay.
something like that. And
really? That long?
yeah.
Okay.
And
that's why it's growing in size so much.
yeah, the way I when I researched it, this is what I figured out for the most part is that it's kind of in relation to their anti-extradition laws that they just like recently applied.
Okay.
And supposedly, like how it really came about for the most part was it was the introduction of the bill due to a murdering case that happened in Taiwan on March 17, 2018. A man in Hong Kong named I'm not going to
okay,
even
come
try.
on. Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, no.
What is it? Joe Smith?
Nope. I'm not going to
Joe
try.
Smith. Dub it in here.
Yeah. So-and-so murdered his girlfriend. I can't do
So-and-so
it.
part 2.
I can't do the other one either. I'm sorry. And while they were on a vacation in Taiwan. And he was charged with like theft and handling stolen goods or something.
Okay.
But the Taiwanese
So was he
investigators
an American? Oh, he was Taiwanese.
that I think he lives in Hong Kong, but he went on vacation to Taiwan,
Okay.
and then he committed the crime. He
Okay.
murdered his girlfriend.
Got you.
And then he came back to Hong Kong, but because there's an anti-extradition law
Got
where he
you.
can't go anywhere,
Got
the
you.
Taiwanese investigators can't.
Can't go pick him up.
Can't
the
question
government
him.
won't work with him.
Yeah,
Right.
they can't do nothing about
Uh-huh.
it. And then it's
I hear
like
there's a handful of these countries, these no extradition countries. Belize is like the biggest one, I feel like, on this side of the hemisphere, close to us. Everybody's always like, I'll murder my neighbor if his dogs don't shut up, and I'll just move to Belize and they'll never get me.
it's kind of scary. Like I
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Jesus, man.
Terrible.
Man.
Yeah. You.
This is the hardest room
That's
I've ever
you.
worked for. This
Oh.
is John Hannon. My God.
What do you want from me? I don't have any.
The audience of one that doesn't get my shit. It's awesome.
Well, we are. You said you were going on your 20th high school reunion, and I'm going on my 10th year. So
coming up, yeah.
What does that tell you?
I
What
don't
does
know.
that title?
You got shit for taste?
I don't know
Heard.
either. I see that because you have DigiHears too.
Yeah, I wrote
don't
a lot of
know.
stuff down. I had stuff.
What? Okay, so what do you have? You can.
So this was a okay. I just heard this one. This news is 2 or 3 days old as we record here on Thursday. So it happened earlier in the week here. But a deputy, his name was Angel Reynosa, and he was in Lancaster, California, which is in Los Angeles County. He got on the radio. You and I heard the actual radio audio earlier.
Oh,
we were-
this is where the
looking it up.
police,
The
police officer.
Yeah, the police
himself.
officer. He was
I know what
he
you're
was a
talking about.
deputy. Yeah, he was a deputy out there for Lancaster, and he called in on his radio that he had just gotten in his car outside the station and was shot at twice by a sniper, and that he got hit in the shoulder. Well, they researched more. They went on a giant manhunt all around the city. They apparently kicked in doors in the apartment complex across the street from where they were.
Oh yeah, just like searching and raiding.
Yeah,
people.
raiding apartments without. I'm sure they didn't have warrants because they assumed a sniper was in their apartments possibly. So they just kicked the doors in. I'm sure just to help themselves to clear the apartments. Anyway, long story short, he said he got hit in the shoulder twice, and the vest stopped the bullet from penetrating his skin. But explained the hole in his shirt. Well, he went to the hospital. I guess his sergeant showed up to ask him some questions to get further report on what had happened. And that's when he admitted from the hospital bed that it was all fake. He made it all up. No one ever shot. He was never shot. And then he made the holes in his shirt with a knife in his car.
I don't understand it. I don't what's the motivation
and then
there?
To this point, like I said, I looked this up just before we started recording about 7:00 tonight, and they still had no answers as to why. He's now been fired. He's no longer a sheriff's deputy. Thank God.
But
But-
he's
but they
lucky
have
he's
no
not getting
answers as to
arrested.
why.
He's probably going to get charged.
He does definitely face potential charges for filing a false report.
Yeah, I mean, because come
Filing
on,
a false report. That's it.
everybody's time that you're wasting
Sounds
in
weak.
houses that are getting raided. All those
they
people.
They put a giant manhunt.
You're
out.
wasting
I saw
their
the video.
time.
They're like, they're in like riot gear, kicking in fucking apartment doors. It was not ideal.
That's absolutely too much, and I don't know. I mean, and I guess mistakes can be made or whatever, but and then he just like admits it. He just point blank admits that like, oh yeah, I lied about that. Like that's my bad. I guess I'm sorry about it. Okay.
Yeah,
but-
and I guess we'll never know because now with the way the news cycles flow, it'll be there's more news already. That was 2 days ago. Obviously, there's been more news churned up since then, and we'll never really know.
Yeah, because
the whole story.
To try to figure out why anybody would be wanting to do that is beyond me. I don't know what there is to gain from that. You're going to get a news story, and
Right.
that's great. But I mean, otherwise, I have no idea. That's not a good approach.
It doesn't make any sense, and we'll never know now. So
No.
the world
Okay.
will never know.
Yeah.
This one pertains to. I know this one will affect our producer here a little bit. I noticed on our way in when I show up here, I have to ring his Ring doorbell. Ring doorbell. Did you hear this story?
They're everywhere now.
They are everywhere, but did you hear about the Ring doorbell? They just
I know of them.
Well, okay. Well, did you hear the story in that they just signed an agreement with over 400 police departments countrywide to make what they're calling, let me read this right, the new neighborhood watch. And actually,
The
we're getting a
new-
call from my buddy Zach right now.
Oh, okay.
So we'll ask
what
him
is
what he thinks about this for
'cause
sure.
He definitely knows.
And I'll give you more information when we get signed in here.
Yeah. Cause,
No,
yeah,
that's fine.
because that
I'll fill him in.
because that Ring doorbell was on Shark Tank. And
Was it?
Yeah,
Is
it was.
that
It
where
was
it got its
called.
start?
It was called something else, but and they rebranded. But yeah, that guy rejected like the Shark's offers, and then
And went out on his own.
Went did his own thing.
he's doing just
blew
fine.
up.
He's doing
yeah,
just fine.
and then they called it Ring
Okay.
after so long.
I just got a ring-a-ling-ding in. Zach, are you with us?
Hey,
Yo,
Can you hear us, bud?
a little bit. Sounds like you're real far away from the phone.
oh okay. So can you,
I can scream.
Is it getting? Is it getting any better or is it worse?
No.
This is the first phone call we've had since we've done the FTI live, so we're trying to work it out right now.
Yeah, you sound okay to us. Can you hear me when I scream?
I mean, like I can hear you guys. It just sounds like you're in a fish tank of some sort.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's
So-
that's because the fish tank we're in.
Yeah. Well,
If you were viewing, you'd know that. But that's fine. I'll fill you. I'll get you up to date.
we'll
was
just try to
listening to you
talk a little
guys.
bit louder for you.
Okay, yeah, just yell real loud. Appease me. Not
He's got it. Cool. Perfect. Screw the audio.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as Zach's got us. We're
Everybody,
good.
turn down your volume.
So Zach, did you hear the Ring doorbell story?
No, I didn't hear that. I heard the civil uprising in Hong Kong and officer that was pretending to be shot, and I was like, oh, I can call it and just add to negativity.
Oh yeah, that was we just wrapped that up. We were talking about that. Yeah, the fake report from the officer in California claiming he got shot by a sniper. They put out a giant manhunt, and it turns out it was all a hoax.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's what you're referring to. Glad you heard that part. But we just actually went into the Ring story. Ring just signed a deal where they're now they signed with 400 police departments nationwide to make what they're calling the new neighborhood watch, in which now the police have direct access to all your video through Ring, and Ring actually partners with, is it Google or no, Ring's with Amazon. So Amazon now has it all in the cloud, and when the police need it, they can reach out to Amazon, and Amazon supposedly sends you an email asking if your permission to use it at specified, dates and times. And again, it's they're calling it the largest police private co-op in history.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, if you truly can opt out of it, if Amazon is going to be, you know what I mean? But then at that point, how do we really know at any point in time if they're using, if they're just tapped into your shit and looking at your Ring cameras?
See, that's uncomfortable for me.
Well, I mean, I have two Ring cameras, one at my front door and like one that faces my driveway. So, I mean, they can tap in all they want. They're not going to see anything. And the point of having the Ring camera there is to catch anything that's there anyway. So,
yeah.
I mean, fuck it. I don't care.
You're kind of right.
Randomly listen in. You might hear me like smacking my wife around.
But again, it's not in video, so you can't prove it.
Because that's the way that I see it. I think that people are going to be catching themselves more than they're catching any other like random activity, and everybody's just going to be going to jail and kind of regretting that they even signed up for this.
I guess.
Well, it kind of goes back to the, and when I say this, mine's going to go off, the Alexa device, because there's that murder case where they were trying to figure out if this guy like killed his wife or something, and the only evidence they had was the Alexa device picked up the audio from it because it's always recording. So then they were trying to push through where they can get, they can have access to those. I think that got shut down, but I mean, they're going to listen, That's
what I'm saying. I mean, they're getting audio all the time anyway, even if it's just via your phone.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the world we live in, there's cameras almost at every corner, like even if you're just outside walking around. Besides if you go into like a random forest, but you're always either on camera or on a microphone, or they're picking you up one way or another now.
Yeah.
Big Brother, am I right?
Yeah, people act like they're not already on camera all the time. Like they think that the only camera they could possibly be on would be the ones that they put up, and in reality, it's like, no, man, you're never not on camera.
Yeah, and then I guess the police department's starting to get more and more eyes on everybody.
I read 1984. I know.
Slippery slope.
That was there. You got my words, Zach.
Yeah.
You used my word. But
Where's my cameras and then my guns? What's next?
Trump 2020. That's what's next. Fucking slippery slope off of that one. So Zach, let's give a little bit of history on who you are. So people don't know you're not just Zach is the name that came up on my phone when you called.
There's context to it.
Yeah. So Zach had a podcast back in the day. It's so funny. I've never really started my own podcast. I've always just glommed onto an already existing deal. So back in the day,
just ruin other people.
Yeah, ruin the other ones, and then move on into the next one.
I feel your pain,
I'm a succubus
Zach.
of podcasts.
I feel your pain.
Zach and my buddy Paul had a podcast back in 2015, 2016. Zach and Paul, and at the time it was Jesse. And it was kind of a little bit of a revolving door of cast members, kind of in, kind of out. And at one point, I came in and guested, and I don't know, we all had good chemistry, and it worked out well. So I stuck around and came as many weeks as I could,
got the goods.
until I ruined it and made Zach move to Tampa, and the podcast folded. But that was no guarantees, and those were good days, huh, Zach?
They were.
What was your favorite or least favorite? You can pick one or the other. It doesn't even matter. What's your favorite or least favorite moment with Coleman here from those times?
My least favorite was probably when we decided to keep him, and my favorite was when the show ended.
Awesome. Zach suffers from oppositism very, very desperately.
No, that's obviously a joke. I was the one that kind of pushed to have Chris on the show. He was always like my go-to guy. When, when the third seat was open, I would always hit him up like, hey man, like, can you come in? And usually most of the time he was able to. And then we were finally just kind of like, yeah, it's good chemistry, and he's already our buddy. Like, you should just do this with us every week.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt, because when I was doing the show by myself, Funny to Informing here, and I was doing a few shows with Coleman off on other shows and things like that, and then it became a thing where it just felt kind of natural, and it was easier, to do, and it was a lot of fun. So, I feel like we think alike a little bit, Zach. You're obviously smarter than me by a lot, but
Oh man, sadly I can't argue that as much as I want.
I know. No.
Damn it.
Aren't you working on a show with somebody else now? Like, you just recently got on what in Tampa, I think.
Yeah. So another one of our buddies who Chris knows too, Brian Harrison. He and I. Well, he moved to Tampa a little bit before I did, and so once I moved down here, we kind of like connected, and we've been friends since. And then I'll say a few months ago, he started one up. He's a late bloomer. He decided to start a show up, and he came to me when he was starting up. He's like, "Hey man, like, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, here's my concept. Can I shoot you over, like a rough episode and take a listen to it?" I was like, "Yeah, man, absolutely." I mean, I don't know what credentials I have to be a judge of what a fucking good podcast is.
You did this before and it folded.
Oh.
I spoke into a microphone and said stupid shit. I don't know what that.
Yep.
how
Welcome
much
to our
credentials I
lives
can
as
do, but-
podcasters.
Hey, I like
But
No
I guess people
Guarantees.
liked it, so.
No Guarantees was actually a good, because it's still, some of them are still up. I think people
Yeah.
can go back and listen to them still, and they're
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I think they're all still on iTunes and stuff like that. And surprisingly enough, like, I joke around and everybody, self-deprecates and stuff like that. But when it ended, I actually had like quite a few people reach out to me and like, man, like, that sucks. Like, I really enjoyed like listening to this, and like I've even had some people within the last year like even hit me up and say like, hey, like, I'm still listening to them. Like, they hold up. Like, it's still funny. Like, and good to hear you're going to be doing it again. And I'm like, shit, really? Like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
Like,
for
that's
sure.
nice.
No, I'm
And
glad.
he's got 2 under his belt with Brian in the new show. Well, Brian's existing
Yeah.
show, but Zach's now a part of it. It's still pretty new anyway. They're only 12 episodes in total.
All the small talk,
All the small stuff.
all the small stuff. I would fuck it up.
He did 10 or not, I think 9 episodes by himself, and then as John knows, I'm sure, like, it's hard to do something like that by yourself and feel
I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
doing it by myself.
Jeez,
feel like an
nightmare.
hour at a time. So he had like some guests that he brought in, stuff like that, to kind of get them through, and then he asked me to come on, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's been long enough time, let's give it a go again.
let me show you how this podcast shit's done. You have Jack
Yeah.
and Coke. Check. I'm in.
No, not even that. It's one of those things, like, I'm the conventional guy. I'm like, I'm never doing it again. And then, and then it's like, all right, well, it's been a few years. Like, maybe people don't hate me so much. I don't know.
That's
And
fine.
then-
The hate has died off enough. Fuck
Yeah,
it. And
'cause
if it hasn't, like I always say, if you don't like it, write a diss track.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we
Exactly.
recommend.
So,
Okay.
yeah, he invited me on, and we had a really good time. It was fun. And then he's like, oh, yeah, that was good. Like, you want to come back next week? And I was like, yeah, sure, man, of course. And then we kind of just went from there and said, hey, you want to make this like a reoccurring thing and do that? And I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, man, like, let's do it.
That's awesome. I love it. And then, like, when I had met you after the All-Star game that was at Exploria
Oh, yeah.
Stadium, that was the only time we had met, and it was that was actually like one of my favorite parts about the game itself, because it was kind of boring. We got our ass whooped
It
the
was a
All-Stars
boring
did.
ass match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But so I was really glad to have met you that day, and that was before.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
It was completely by chance too. Like, we would just happen to like be walking back to our cars and like randomly ran into each other.
Yeah, in a crowd of people, I was just like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, we appreciate you.
Where can we find the show? Do you want to plug
Yeah,
any
yeah.
social media, your social media, whatever you want to plug it up?
Yeah, so the show is All the Small Stuff currently. We've been kicking around names, stuff like that. We're still trying to decide if we're going to stick with that or rebrand it. We're not sure yet. We've been,
I'm telling
taking
you,
our time with it,
Christian
making
and the
sure we do it
Logic
right.
Man. Christian and the Logic Man.
That is a good name.
Fairy tales and facts. But yeah, so just look up like all the small stuff on Facebook, and that'll go to like our, I guess like the official page. But if you look up ATSS group, that goes to the page where everybody can interact and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We'll
the
have,
new
like, a weekly
Facebook
poll
page.
question up.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Instagram is sorry, all the small stuff, and then it's on iTunes. I'm not an Android guy, so I don't know. What
It's probably
stuff is
out
on
there.
for
I feel like that
Yeah,
comes as a
it's-
package. If you're on iTunes,
No,
you're on
I-
Google. I mean, why
I
would
know
you
it
not?
is.
All you
I
got to
don't
do
know
is send a
what
dick pic to
specifically.
Google, and they'll post it for the world. They don't. There's no fucking. There's no checking over policy. They're just like, you want to
Yeah.
share it? I'll share it for you.
Yeah, basically anything that you could put that has a search bar. Just look up all the small stuff podcasts, and you'll find it.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. We appreciate you calling. It was really good to talk to you, Zach. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Fix your phone lines.
All right, we'll do.
Working on it, asshole.
Got it.
Sounded like your show
Yeah.
the other day. Bye. Love you.
See ya.
All right, guys.
Later, Zach. Thanks, bud.
That's yeah, I like that. That
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
That's
I mean,
cool.
our
We'll
first-
get the kinks worked out.
Yeah, it was our
Listen,
first
I called
call.
his show and I could hear the host of their show, Brian, his co-host. I could hear him real well, but Zach sounded exactly same to me. Like he was across the room, so I was having to like get in a real quiet place, make sure I could hear real well.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is sometimes, And I know we should be expecting a call soon from Coco.
Yeah, we should be getting a call from our buddy Coco,
Yeah,
formerly of 1K
where,
Away.
I mean, we'll talk a little bit of sports with him this week and get him on the phone just to kind of introduce the fact that he's coming on once a month and he
prelude to his first
and then,
show
like,
next week. Right?
Yeah, yep. Like we said, next week.
Next
is,
Thursday, as we record, it'll be the season kickoff.
yeah, of,
Bears
of the
Packers.
NFL.
Yeah, NFL
Yeah.
season kickoff. So we're gonna talk to him. He's actually calling. He's very on point. He's calling in right now.
Okay, yeah. So we'll pass the phone
We'll
back
get him
over.
connected.
Here we go.
No, he's got
And,
it. We'll get him connected. And we're all good.
Yep.
So yeah, it kicks off Thursday as we speak right now. It's funny because our guy running the boards and connecting our phones for us, he's on point tonight, doing a killer job as always. Who runs Amplified Network? Our buddy Amp. He's a Jags fan. I'm obviously a Falcons fan. I have it tattooed on me. We're playing each other in the last preseason game right now.
Oh, really?
I don't have my phone, so I can't check scores, but I feel like we're really kicking his ass.
No.
Probably not.
In
we're
preseason-
probably losing.
Yeah, the Falcons don't win their preseason
The
games.
Jags have a shitty preseason record, too. I looked. It's a
Oh,
bunch of
good.
losses on both sides. So
Oh,
somebody's
good.
walking away with a fucking win, or we're going to tie 0-0 like a fucking soccer match.
Yeah, it's going to be the most
Really
boring thing.
enthralling.
Really makes you wonder why you spend money on
Did
it.
we get Coco? Coco, we got you on here?
What up, fellas?
Where you at, Coco?
Whoop, hang on. We got some feedback. I know that. We got a
Reverb.
hot mic. Hot mic. Coco, we got you
I say when
in?
that hotline blings, it can only mean that Coco's on.
Yeah. You're here, man. We got you
We
finally.
got
Can you
him.
hear
We
us?
got
Okay.
him.
How y'all doing?
Doing
Good, buddy.
what?
Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all a little bit.
Okay.
You're coming in a little soft.
Does it sound like we're in an aquarium at all?
It sounds like that, like both of y'all's heads are up each other's asses, and
Boom.
it's echoing a lot.
You got it.
Right.
That's because our heads are in an aquarium in each other's asses.
All of the above
what
in
we're
a
doing.
fishbowl. Yeah.
Boom.
But look, man, I'm just happy to be on with, Chris, a.k.a. Peisenberg, and John, a.k.a. Throws Up in Bagsenberg.
Boom.
It's an honor.
He wrote bits. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I always have a bag ready now. I've learned my lesson since then.
If you don't, we made bags for our event and we handed them out. So use that. It's,
Maybe you shouldn't just think about not drinking so much. You don't need a bag.
I'm 50% Irish.
So
It's
what-
I
yeah.
can't do that.
Once it's too late, it's too late. We all know that.
You're just a pure insult to the Irish families.
Yeah. Okay. So we know we were kind of preluding to it before we got on the line with you that we're going to have you in mainly to really give us like sports updates. Probably go over like the whole month, pretty much. Maybe come on once a month.
Yep.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
So we're going to have you next week, right? Next Thursday?
Hell yeah, I'm
For the-
down.
Sweet. For it's the Packers Bears.
Is that Thursday? Yeah.
Huge.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of the
Go
biggest
Bears.
rivalries
My
in the
team.
NFL.
Super Bowl champions for this year, the Bears.
Yeah.
And you're a Bears fan, are you not?
I am a diehard Bears fan.
Oh,
Wow.
so leave your fucking prejudices out.
I was
We
gonna
just want the
say-
facts, sir. Just the facts.
Oh no, I'll give honest opinion based on a game-by-game basis.
Okay.
But that game actually, I mean, the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers is one of the most intense and old rivalries in the league, and it is always a great game no matter how good either team is. One could be last in the division. They always play each other well.
They do.
Recently, the Packers really have kind of had our number. Last year we played them well. We lost the first game of the season to them. Hurt Rodgers. He came back in the game late and ended up, coming from behind, which was a classic victory. I give it up to him. And then, but the Bears were able to win the second game against them later in the year and clinch the division. The unfortunate double doink by
double
shall
doink.
not be named. Yeah,
That was, man, that was
shall not be
epic.
named anymore.
That was so unfortunate.
It definitely was to some crappy ass Eagles team that we should have beat.
Hey, okay, yeah. Don't
Eagles,
even
fucking
do all
Eagles.
that. Yeah, we talked about the Falcons fan, and we talked about the
This season
Jaguars.
overall, guys, is going to be just straight up intense. There's so many good teams, not only in the NFC, but there's really quality teams throughout the league in the AFC. It could go either way. The divisions are stacked, especially in the NFC, about 3 teams deep in each league that it's really kind of hard to determine on who's going to win each conference. So it's going to be a hell of a season.
Well, and
Well,
that's
it's still
that-
early, too.
Yeah, and
it hasn't even started yet.
That's kind of what I wanted from you next week, because I guess before the first week officially starts, despite the Bears and Packers playing on that Thursday, I wanted you to kind of, before they all start, go through like a prediction of the season. Maybe who wins the divisions, gets into the playoffs, and then who you think is going to win it all. And do not say the Bears, because it's just not happening.
Oh, I got you guys on that one. Yeah, no, I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Okay.
all
Cool.
right. Well,
Yeah.
you did. I'll tell you what. You did call us we were kind of getting to the tail end of Did You Hears.
Yeah.
But we felt like now's a better time than ever to get you in, because I have a Did You Hear that's sports related, and I wanted to ask you, did you hear? So are you down?
I'm down.
Okay, buddy. Did you hear Carly Lloyd from the U.S. women's national team, and I believe she plays for the Houston Dash in the women's soccer league. She kicked a 55-yard field goal at practice with the Eagles and got 2 offers to play in this week's final preseason game for 2 different teams.
Yep. Yeah, no, I heard all about that, and that's amazing. And I actually called a local radio station. I got one of my buddies who's on there, Nikki Football for ESPN 580.
Oh yeah.
They do a great show, and they actually were having that conversation, and I called in and had a good about 5-minute talk with him about it in regards to, he thinks it's just kind of a sham, and a lot of people thinking it's more of a sham. And they're comparing it's like if I went to a Magic game and made a 3 and the Magic offered me a contract. Pump your brakes there, first of all, because I don't care who you are. You're knocking a 55-yard field goal in. That's some talent. There's maybe 1,000 people worldwide who could possibly do that.
I don't know. I feel like there's a
no
lot of
pads.
soccer players that could do that.
Yeah, well,
Soccer players got legs, man.
Well,
Men,
consistency-
women, no matter what.
the most important thing you have to be is consistent.
Right. Yeah,
Because
a lot of people can do one. Can you do a bunch?
Yeah,
That's the
And-
question.
Well, and it was the Eagles. Despite everybody shitting on them right
Fucking
now.
Eagles.
No, go
are
Eagles.
they one of the ones that offered her a contract?
It was the Eagles and the Ravens.
Eagles
both.
and Ravens, both helpless. No, but I feel like it's also what's that movie we talked about this earlier? Necessary Roughness come to life.
Oh yeah, unnecessary roughness.
She's Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
But look, she went out there and just kicked around for a while, and they're like, hey, let's see how far you can do it. She's never really done it before,
Right.
in real life. She's never trained for it. That's what I'm saying. You could pull a soccer player. Let's just say, Kaká being here in Orlando.
Right.
You put
You can't
Kaká
kick it
out
that
there
far.
on
His
the
bone will
40
shatter
on
in
the
17
40-yard line.
pieces. It's
He
ancient.
might kick it that far, but I don't think he's going to make it. She hit it dead on.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
no,
I
barely
feel like
got it. I mean,
I
she
feel like-
crushed it.
I feel like a lot of soccer players can fucking hit that, bro. I've seen some pretty amazingly accurate shots.
I just don't
from long
even. I don't even
distances.
think some of these soccer players have even tried.
My question, though, for you is, hey, if there's a lot of soccer players out there, especially from the men's, who can kick that, you're telling me that why are there not a lot more soccer players trying out for kicking positions within the NFL? Because those kickers, although they are kickers, those guys are still making $2, $3, $4 million a year.
Well, yeah.
And if you're You're stuck on the bench somewhere for a soccer team where you're only making, a couple $100,000 a year. Why are you not trying out for an NFL team?
You're killing me, bro. You're killing me. For a soccer team? You sound like such a Chicagoan.
Yeah. Well, no. It's with Carly Lloyd, I kind of hope she does, become the first woman to go into the NFL.
That would be cool to see.
She's actually kind of like a good advocate for that. But and she said that she's not even like opposed to hearing offers. Like she's kind of open to the idea.
Well, she actually said that she's really considering kind of buckling down over this next year because she is 35 or 36 years old.
Yeah.
So her soccer career is coming to a point where, it's coming to an end, although she's still a great athlete, but she's really considering giving it a go next year. And there was a big name kicker. I'm trying to remember his name.
Morton Anderson.
Morton Anderson, who's a Hall of Fame kicker, actually offered to give her, instruction leading up to she really wants to do this. And look, if she could go onto a roster, be able to kick some field goals, make a couple in even a preseason game, sell some jerseys, get females more involved with it. It helps to grow the league.
Yeah.
And who knows? It opens up some doors, maybe not the NFL right away, but you're talking the XFL you have now. You have arena leagues. Like, you start bringing that into play, that's definitely a way really to open up the sports some more, especially with the last couple of years, how the NFL's kind of taken that black eye. This puts them back into full-on precedence and really increases the ratings, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and let me ask you, how many, are you in a lot of fantasy football leagues?
Say that again?
How many, are you in fantasy football leagues, or a lot of them, or?
Yep. Yeah, I got 2 fantasy football leagues going on this year. One from another podcaster, Adam Poston, whose league I won last year, and then another one I've been in actually for 14 years with the same 10 guys, 12-man league, but we got
Yeah. I love Adam. I was about to curse.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I was about to say,
you can curse, bro. This is our show. I was going to curse. I fucking love Adam. Oops, beep that.
All right. On one of my teams. I do think he's going to have a good year. I'll talk more about the Eagles when I come out next week. But I think Wentz is going to have a really spectacular year coming out.
What do you think?
Teams.
Hey, what do you think about Andrew Luck retiring at 29 years old?
You know what? I think that's really going to start opening the eyes to the rest of the league. And I don't think it was just about Andrew Luck retiring. I don't know if you guys happened to catch Gronk's interview a couple days ago, Gronkowski from the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I read it. It was the easiest read ever. Gronk, asshole, slam football.
I am Gronk.
Well,
I am Gronk.
He had internal bleeding and stuff right after the Super Bowl, and there was 4 days that he was like, he couldn't sleep. He had bad injuries. That's really what drove him to retire, because remember, he was in his prime as well, too.
But he came back, did he not?
Huh?
Didn't he come back?
No, Gronk's retired.
I thought he was going to come back.
Whoa.
I heard he was deciding to come back after he retired.
People speculate, but even with the interview the other day, because he's full on supporting a CBD and medical marijuana company. And he's really encouraging the NFL to open up more for alternative treatments to be able to allow these players to have some ways to help relieve pain that aren't like opioids and things like that.
They got to do something.
Right.
They got to do something because of the CTE is fucking crazy. And the NFL is not going to be around forever if they keep this shit up at this pace.
No, and you got these younger guys that, they make good money. Gronkowski and Luck are kind of the peak of it, where they've made a ton of money in regards to what they do, and they're able to retire early and still keep their bodies for the most part, which I totally respect and understand. But you got these other guys that are making, league minimum and, $1 million a year, let's just say, contract. I think league minimum is about $750,000, but even at $1 million a year, which is a lot of money to us, these players are going in and they get that, and that's what they want to do, and they're sacrificing their bodies, and they're not getting technically the treatment that they should be able to get. Yeah. Everything with the concussions coming out, about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
About 8 years ago with the movie that Will Smith did, and
I noticed it,
hero Will Smith.
Yeah, I noticed it notoriously with basketball. It seems like every retired player's knees start to go way before your knees are ever supposed to give out on you.
Yeah.
And that seems like to be the number one injury for them.
NBA players and porn stars, they always first to go. But Coco, thank you, man. Thank you for your time, brother. We're about to we're going to get to wrapping the show up here shortly. Yeah, we'll have you on next week. You can hang out the whole time, talk all the sports, all the non-sports.
yeah,
you can
because
hold it down so I can take a piss break. It's amazing. Thank you.
UCF football is
Oh, yeah,
playing.
and I can't wait to explain why the Falcons are going to come in dead last in that division.
Fuck, I can't wait for a logical explanation on that myself, sir.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good night.
Thanks,
yeah, you
man.
too, man. Yeah, because with college football, like kind of just recently kicking off.
It just started over the weekend. We
UC
made the mistake of trying to go downtown.
UCF is
After
playing
that
their first game tonight.
Terrible UM
Oh yeah,
UF game.
the Gators and
The
Miami,
Gators and the who?
Miami Hurricanes.
All right. Well, since we're wrapping up the show here shortly, guys, that was the word of the week. So every time you heard John say hurricane this week, you were to drink your drinks. So
Oh wow,
you should have been drunk early on because we cleared that up a long time ago. But so we got one more
Wow.
digi. We got a couple more quick digis. Quickly, I saw the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix.
A.
You did not?
I did not.
B.
There was a lot of feedback from that I've been seeing
That
it
shit is
nonstop.
controversial for whatever reason.
Well, now because I really want to watch it, I just haven't yet.
Well,
gotten
take
around
an
to
hour
it.
out of your night, and I'll tell you this: after the credits roll, stick around. There's an extra 20-minute little second piece, and it's just him doing crowd work at a different venue. And he literally like puts a mic in the crowd and has people line up like they're at a town hall meeting, and they come up and just ask their one question or whatever they want, and he
See,
fucking replies to it. It's great.
I would have been the idiot that would have once I saw the credits roll, find the next Netflix show or something. Like I don't really.
No, I didn't
sometimes
know.
Stay
I
for
saw it
after
on
the
Facebook.
Credits.
Luckily, there was a lot of talk about it on Facebook. I just happened to be scrolling through a thread of talk, like fucking controversial. It's not. It is. It isn't. Blah blah blah. In my opinion, it is not. It's comedy. If you don't like it, turn it off. Don't watch it. Disagree with it, but don't call for the guys. Don't call for the guy's head.
I just
want.
I just want to know: is it Dave Chappelle? Is it anything new for Dave Chappelle?
It's Dave Chappelle. I mean, it's new jokes and material, but it's
Right.
Dave Chappelle doing Dave Chappelle, bro.
Okay, that's
and it's
all I
unedited
care
and
about.
doing what he does best. And he lampoons everybody, man. Like there's a whole section on it. I'm not going to spoil it, but where he talks about whites and the opioid epidemic and how he relates it to how now it's whites and the opioid epidemic versus in the 80s it was blacks and the crack epidemic. And he's like, didn't nobody give a shit about blacks and the crack in the 80s? I don't give a shit about y'all and your fucking heroin today.
I do have to watch it. I feel
And
like I'm gonna like
I'm not
it.
like I
think
don't
I'm
need to
gonna like
write
it.
Netflix because he said that. You know what I mean? It's fucking
Yeah.
funny, and I even know people affected by that shit. But it's still a joke. Like I don't see how people get so out of shape over that shit.
Yeah,
But it
it's
is
been
it is a lightning rod on social media right now.
It's been breaking the internet a little bit, and
Again,
I know
yet
I want
another
to watch
Kim
it.
Kardashian's ass breaking the internet.
Yeah,
John calls everything breaking the internet. It just puts Kim Kardashian's ass in my head.
it's been like twice or three times.
I will say this. I know last week we got a lot of action in the chat tonight. Thank you guys. Foe, I see you in there all night. Adri, you've been in there
Mama,
all night.
yeah, for helping us out at the event and
Thanks for everything.
being in the chat.
Yeah, for being there all the time. I saw Bluegill in there earlier.
Bluegill,
everybody participating and logging on in the chat room. We appreciate it. We see you guys.
Oh,
It was a busy
Ryan.
show, so we weren't in there really to go back and forth with you a lot tonight. But last week I got a lot of requests. I wore this hat. If I'm not from Jamaica, why would I wear this hat? But I wore this hat, and I got a lot of traction on it. People were like, "Where can I get the hat? Where I want a hat." We got it worked out. We have a link for the hats.
Why didn't you wear it tonight?
Because I was wearing this one. Follow me at this.
Oh, okay, that's
but
fine.
Yeah, I'll just boom, it's right there. And you guys, we'll put the link. We're gonna put the link in our group page, Funny Informatives. And John is going to put it in the description for the podcast when it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, it'll be in the description. There will be a link.
So yeah, check the group page on
They have
Facebook.
different colors, guys. The bills are interchangeable. I just found this out. I was like looking at the link, and I'm like, oh my god, I got to get more. You can
get
change
different
the bills.
colors.
When you change the bill color, as a hat guy, this is big. When you change the bill color, the little fennel at the top, or finial, whatever they call it, the cap stud changes to the same color, and you can change the whole color of the hat. It's fucking awesome. I'm super excited. Snapback. Great hats, super high quality, green underbill. I really like it. It's a super
man.
nice hat.
We,
the
and
links will be up. You guys can go get them tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Decal Junkie Todd.
Yeah,
he's the
shout
one
out to
that
him for doing that.
hooks us up with a lot of some of the nice stuff that we get. It's
Kind of in closing, I did real quick Restaurant Impossible. As we record today, Thursday, that will be out Saturday, the 31st at 10 o'clock on Food Network. It is the episode in which they followed back up 5 years later with Tornators. They didn't talk to me on camera, thank God. But they did get some shots of me like throwing pies and stuff. I don't know. I might be in there. But it's a cool story. And I feel like I'm interested to see, as a guy who was there for the shooting of, how they put this together and edited it. And you know what I mean? I saw it come together. So now I want to see the final piece. So
It's,
Saturday, 10 o'clock, I'll be watching, assuming we all have power.
I know there's no promise of that, and it's so awesome to see like when something in Orlando and a restaurant or any type of business is featured on a national network television show. So Restaurant Impossible, Saturday 10. And I kind of do like Robert Irvine too. He's kind of like a little bit. He looks like a meathead, but he knows what he's doing.
In between little shoots, he goes out and busts out push-ups and shit.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's smart.
I found one more last Did You Hear before we wrap up.
Okay, all right, cool.
Did you hear?
Perfect.
Did you hear?
No,
Well, you might have. Hang on, let me ask you.
I don't know.
Did you hear? Here in Florida, the lines to get fuel to prepare for this upcoming hurricane are only rivaled by the lines to get Popeye's chicken sandwiches. I guess when you're facing death next week, what's it matter where you get your gas?
All right, yeah.
Did you hear?
Boom. And we
Tip your pizza maker. I'll be here all week.
are just about out of here. Yeah, you said tip your pizza maker first, but we
I
hope
just had
you
to get it in
guys enjoy listening as much as we enjoy chatting and shooting the shit. You can laugh with us or at us. It
Jinx, you owe
doesn't
me a
matter.
beer.
And funny2informing@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram.com/funny2informing. And
Twitch.tv/Amplified Network. Follow it. It'll give you updates on when we go live, which is generally Thursdays at 7. See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
appreciate you.
Welcome. We thank you for listening with us today. We ask that you please stow away and secure all important items. There are no emergency exits. So just sit back, relax, fasten your earbuds, and enjoy.